What's up, traders? In this video, I want to show to you a little bit how to do shorting and how I'm going to short this weekend, the 29th and 30th of January, in order to make some money, and why shorting is the most profitable thing to do when the market is going downhill. Because shorting basically means that you're making money as the market goes down, whereas longing is making money as the market goes up. There's selling and buying, and then there's shorting and longing. They are more or less the same thing, except longing and shorting work on contracts, but essentially make money the same way. But with shorting and longing, you can multiply the amount of money that you use even if you don't have it. So you can make a lot more money, but you can also lose money a lot faster, which is why it's very dangerous. But I'm going to explain shortly what my position is for this weekend, and if you're interested. But of course, it's not financial advice at all, because shorting, and especially if you're using leverage, can be very dangerous. Leverage is increasing your position 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, even 200 times if you want to go crazy. But basically, if you're 100 times, you're 100 multiplying your position. Then, just to give you an example, all the position needs to do is go up 1% if you're shorting, and then you get liquidated. Liquidated means you lose all your money. So watch out when using futures. Futures is a platform where you trade. You can do it on any exchange. I use mostly Binance. So let's get into it. I'm going to minimize my face and show you where I am. So this is Bitcoin, right? I'm going to go look at the daily chart. This is where we've been going downhill ever since November 8th. It's going down, 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 down. And there are some metrics I look at, some indicators that I use in order to find good shorting positions. Mainly, is this river, so the EMA 13 and 20, because oftentimes the candles will bounce into it and then you can short, bounce into it and then you can short. Here they went above, a little bit above, and I'll tell you how to prevent that to make sure that you don't get closed, the deal gets closed, but basically that's what we wait for. And of course, all these blue lines, the horizontal ones, are the support and resistance levels that I've drawn. This is totally up to you how you draw them, but this is how I like to draw it. So, what am I looking at this weekend? This weekend, we had this at the beginning of the week, which was, well, started at the end of last week on Friday, where the stock market plummeted, and that had a big impact on crypto market as well. Went kaboom. That's the noise that it makes. And since then, it's been slowly creeping back up. But as we expect, it might, well, it's still in a downtrend, as we can see that this river is going down. And it's below this red blue line that I drew. And what needs to happen is that for it to become an uptrend, so going upwards, it needs to cross this river and continue going upwards at least for 2 or 3 days. And if not, it's going to probably continue to crash downwards or go sideways. That's also possible. But what I'm predicting is that it will keep going down. But if it doesn't, my safety stop loss in place. You see this green zone and this red zone? This is what I'm going to trade. Basically, in the middle here is where I want to start the shorting. And at the end of this red is where I have my stop loss. So that's the position gets closed in case it goes up, it hits this. And then the take profit is down here. So if you hover over this, it'll tell you the ratio. The risk to reward ratio is 3.85 to 1. So according to myself, there's no statistical evidence of this, but I have a 3.85 better chance, well, the higher reward if I short compared to long at this point. And the loss is 4.27% versus the profit, if I make it all the way down here, would be 16%. I'm going to do times 5. So you do 4.27 times 5 for your losses, or 16 times 5 for your gains if you do the same thing. I do not recommend copying at all, especially if you don't know shorting. But I'll tell you the reasons why I set this up like this. It's because here is a very good support line, well, resistance actually, as in between these two lines is where it bounced before, and now that the market has been going down quite a lot and it's been only hanging out around here, it's very unlikely that it's going to touch this one, I think. And even if it does, it might just do it for a very short bit. So that's why I'm going to start the shorting here instead of here, because that also makes it more likely to get hit and then continue downwards. Now, what I always do is I put my stop loss one resistance level above plus 1%. This way, in case it wants to continue going up, it might stop at this one and then go back down. Or what we hope is that it doesn't go above 1%. But that's only for Bitcoin, right? If you're shorting alt, then you need to have a different strategy. And then, yeah, then I'm going to take profit here. Maybe not all of it, probably 50%. Because we could see a bounce at this level because it's around 35. But you never know, it could also crash lower to 30 because that's an even bigger support that the whales might be waiting to buy at. Binance Futures newsletter said that they might predict that it goes all the way down to 20, which is around here. And that would be really scary for most people. But if you're in a short position, then you're definitely going to have a great time. So I'm just going to leave this here. Let me know what you think of it. If you have any questions about how to short or how this works, just put it in the comments. And otherwise, I'm launching a Discord channel. It's just got put it up today. And I'd love to have you join. There I'm going to be sharing crypto news, putting everything in one space about what I'm looking at, what I'm trading, basically being a bit more active on YouTube, right? And I hope to see you there. Because I'm also working on an NFT set, and if you haven't noticed, NFT sets are quite the rage right now. So with the community that I want to build, it's going to be very awesome. So if you want to be one of the first ones in the Discord, we're not very active yet, but definitely going to be a massive project. So this is what I'm looking at. Remember, the reason I put the stop loss here, if I wasn't clear, is because if it happens to go around this level, Bitcoin's price, then we could see a reversal and start to trend upwards. But it could also be a fake out like we had up here. See as it jumped over the river, but then really didn't make it and then went bum and plummeted back down and then plummeted back down and then plummeted back down. So you can't predict 100%, but you can try your best and make sure that you always have your stop losses in place, that it doesn't continue to go up and you get liquidated. At least here, I'm going to lose, a decent portion of my portfolio for sure, but don't only trade with what you can lose. Right now I'm trading with very low amounts, only like 40, 50 bucks, because I've had my short futures accounts liquidated quite a lot, so I only trade with smaller amounts when trading futures. And that's how it goes. Hope you enjoyed that. Have a great weekend, everyone. Happy trading, and let me know what project you're looking at otherwise.